Hello, everyone. This is another episode of Open Book. I am Billy Price. I am co-founder of Billy Footwear, and I love Open Book. I really do, because Open Book gives us the chance to talk to amazing folks that we have the opportunity to collaborate with, and those amazing folks are doing amazing things. So today, I am so honored. We will be talking to the Conductive Learning Center, and on screen sharing with me today, we have Angela. She is the Director of Development. And we have Andrea, who is the program director at the Conductive Learning Center. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I am so intrigued about what you guys are doing. And with that, I have a lot of questions. But I think a great starting point, and Andrea, I'll start with you. Could you just, if you could share with me and the rest of the listeners, what is the Conductive Learning Center?
Yeah, so the Conductive Learning Center is a school for children with motor impairments. They say children. Really, we serve from birth through age 26 to learn together motor skills in the conductive education method. So at the school, children are enrolled with a small group of their peers, and they learn everything from in the preschool ages, from colors and numbers and patterns to how to feed themselves, toilet training, how to walk, crawl, whatever their skills are that they're needed. So it's really an education-based rehabilitation model where conductor teachers really use that group setting to provide everything that the student needs in a day, whether that's gross motor skill development, fine motor skill development, cognitive development, social emotional development. They're there every step of the way to make sure the child is has all the support that they need to achieve their greatest level of success.
Oh, nice. So the term conductive learning, I mean, Angela, that's a term that's new to me, and I'm sure that'd be new to a lot of listeners as well. How does conductive learning differ from, I guess, regular education?
Yeah, so we're kind of in a gray area. You know, it's considered education. It's taught by teachers, but we really do have a lot of that physical rehabilitation as well in the model. And it uses the word conductive mainly because it's using techniques to have the body and conduct it to do certain things. It's very neurological. So we're working on, making better connections in the brain. And when you're having those repetitive motions, those repetitive actions, the brain kind of establishes those lines. And so it's a different way of learning since a lot of the times, our students, their brain isn't connecting fully to walking or sitting up independently. And so that's how we retrain the brain to do those things. So really the conductive is kind of the way, the action, and how it's moving.
Oh, gotcha. So I'm really intrigued. I mean, first off, that's absolutely incredible, but I'm also really intrigued how you got involved. What drew you to the Conductive Learning Center?
Well, maybe I'll start off with that. I've got a longer history there, but I was actually in high school, and I was looking at, as all kind of end of high school career do, looking at colleges and programs and trying to decide what I wanted to do in the future. And I was looking at occupational therapy. I was looking at physical therapy. I was looking at music therapy, and I was looking at special education. And at the time, Aquinas College was heavily recruiting for this new program called Conductive Education. I came to visit actually the Conductive Learning Center at that time, which just happened to be one classroom at that moment in time, and got to see kids working together, really doing all the things that I wanted to do. There was a teacher who was leading the group through parallel bars while they pretended to go grocery shopping. So that pretend play with their group of their friends, guiding their steps along the way, correcting them, and singing songs. So it really took these elements of things that I was interested in many different fields, and pulled them all into one. And it really brought my interest together. And I said, this is a program that I wanted to do. And that was back in 2001. And it was when the program first started at Aquinas. And since then, they've continued to train teachers. And the Conductive Learning Center is not only a place where kids come to learn conductive education. It's a training school for college students to learn how to do this method, which started actually in Budapest, Hungary in the 40s. So it's a method that's been used other places for a longer period of time and a little bit newer in the United States, but CLC just celebrated its 25th year of service this past summer. And we've had, well, over 1,000 students come through its doors during that time frame. So certainly something that's been established around here for a long time, but a little bit different than that traditional model where everybody's pulled to one place to see one professional one-on-one. At Conductive Learning Center and in Conductive Education, the kids come together and the conductor is really acting on behalf of the child. So they're really CP specialists or non-progressive motor specialists that can work on behalf of the child to meet all their needs in one place.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a couple ways I can go here. One, I'm going to bring up the website here because I know that there'll be a lot of people very intrigued and wanting to attend. But where are you based out of?
Yeah, we are in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We are one of the largest conductive education centers in the country. We have served actually families from more than 36 states. Now in our 25-year history, families actually find conductive education so impactful that they will travel here and they will stay in a hotel for long periods of time. And we do 4-week sessions. So so it's really big with that. And we are actually the only conductive education center partnered directly with Semmelweis University in Budapest. And we follow the exact guidelines of that model that was developed right there. So we're a very pure model of conductive education.
Wow, that is, I mean, I'm the amount of value that you're adding to so many worlds. It's just incredible. I mean, whenever I hear stories like this, and I've said this on other episodes too, it always takes me back on my own like rehab path. Like when I broke my neck. So I broke my neck when I was 18 years old. So spinal cord injury and going through rehab, it was very challenging. And it was in rehab, you always focus more on like or at least when I was in rehab, my mind was always focused on the physical part of it. But the part that I was really struggling with was the emotional side and like getting back plugged into like what the future would look like, getting plugged back into school, like into like just daily living to be able to, I mean, how do I feed myself? And that's like not just physical, but it's like, how do you actually go to the store to get food? Or how do you operate a stove? And that's where the occupational therapists were working with me. Then the physical therapists are working on more the muscle. And then you're working on the, like kind of a therapist to help you like with the thinking to be able to overcome the emotional challenges and all that. So to be able to have that all under one roof, that is just brilliant. I mean, that is just absolutely incredible. So I'm hoping that if folks out there that can go to the conductivelearningcenter.org, would you be able to find perhaps a learning center somewhere close to like other states, or is this just tailored to Grand Rapids, Michigan?
So there are conductive education schools across the United States. There are, and they all vary a little bit, depending on the size and the model of where they are. So some only have younger children involved, some have only older or young adults involved. Some have different ways a little bit and kind of mixed models. So there is an organization called ACENA, ACENA.org, where you can find a list of all centers of conductive education and certainly a resource for people to go and check out if they're looking for a place near them. Like Angela said, our school year is set up in 4-week chunks. So we run 9 sessions a year plus a summer camp. And that is because families do often not have centers close to them. So it would be less frequent to have one in your back door and more frequent to have to travel for one. And so we have our school year set up that way so that families can come and be with us for a month, and then they can go home and be in their traditional school setting and their traditional model for maybe 3 months and then come back with us another wonderful thing. There's the good and the bad of what we learned in the pandemic, and we kind of never thought we could do virtual service and conductive education until we were really pushed to do so. And I think we all learned that we could do a lot more things. Certainly there's something to be said for being hands-on with kiddos, but for families that have been with us before for follow-up service, we now offer virtual service for them. So they might be with us only once or twice a year and have that virtual follow-up with a conductor one-on-one through a screen, working with their family. And it's been really successful. I've watched kids learn to crawl over a 6-month period of time, just working virtually with the family. So that's an opportunity as well.
Wow, that's awesome. And actually, can you go a little bit farther? Because I know you were mentioning there are some grants available to make it, to be able to get people connected even more so.
Yeah. So one exciting opportunity we have right now, thanks to some grant success, is that we have a program called our Conducting Readiness Program. So families who have never been in our school before and have a child between the ages of 1 and 6, this is really our early intervention program, they can apply, and if accepted into programming, have a high subsidy for service for trying out conductive education. So there's a little bit of a difference between our in-state and out-of-state subsidy there, but they would reach out to us. We also have free assessments every other month, a free assessment clinic where families can get assessed either virtually or in person, and really just giving families the opportunity to try it out. We were a part of a study with Michigan State University on conductive education. And while all the details are not out about it, we found that we had an 85 to, there were 2 cohorts, and so an 85 to 95% return rate of our students after a trial of conductive education. So really high return rates. And since we started conducting readiness, we're around 95-ish percent.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, Angela. So just give people the opportunity to see what it is, understand it a little bit better, see if it's a good fit for their child, and then continue on with us if that is the right fit for them.
And I think one thing we haven't really mentioned, we talk about 4-week sessions. This rehabilitation is a classroom, not visiting just a single physical therapist once a week. These children come for 4 weeks. Depending on their age, they can go from 3 hours all the way up to 6 hours a day for 4 weeks. So this is 30 hours of service per week for 4 weeks. And with these conducting readiness, support from the program, you're getting 4 weeks of service likely under $500, which is unbelievable compared to, even standard daycare nowadays. So,
yeah.
Well, as a parent, so I'm a parent now. I've got a 5-year-old and a daughter who's almost 2, and yeah, they do go to daycare, and you're absolutely right. Daycare does add up for sure.
Yes.
Well, speaking of money, I think there's a big fundraising event coming up, right?
Yes. So here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, we actually host every year the Amway Riverbank Run. It's a collaboration between the hospitals in our area and some of the large companies that we have here. It's been going on for almost 50 years now, and is the largest run in the country. It brings together, I think they said 10,000 plus runners usually, and they have a program connected with it that is for charity partners. And CLC was lucky 10 years ago to be one of the first charity partners, and we got to stay on for a little while. Then we had to share, and they had to choose other organizations. But this year they invited us back as our 25th anniversary, and we are so excited to be there. Anyone who runs can help support CLC through that, make a donation, run on our behalf, and all proceeds from that event that are raised go directly to our scholarship program. So providing more families with that financial support to send their child here. And we love it. We're absolutely excited. We're getting a team together, Team CLC to walk that day. So we'd love to have everyone there. And we are very happily partnering with Billy Footwear as a sponsor for that event. And so all of our supporters for that event will get a coupon for Billy Footwear in their package. So very, very excited for that. And it's coming up on May 11th, 2024. So check it out at AmwayRiverbankRun.com.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I don't have a banner for that built up. I'll make sure to have that in the show notes.
Thank
you. You know, I want to be respectful of your time, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing everything you're doing. But I wanted to give you the mic just one more time before we sign off our guest. So Andrea, anything more to add?
You know, I have to go back when you talk about your own rehab experience and being in the center now since 2001. I've seen kids go from, you know, when they were in that preschool program, those pre-K years, all the way through college now and seeing their jobs. And it's really such a joy to be a part of that. But to see when they look back on, you know, kids and students who learned to walk, who learned to feed themselves, who learned, you know, more independent toileting, things like that. Those seem like such big things to us. But when we look back and we talk to those students, they say the biggest things they learned at the Conductive Learning Center were goal setting and how to achieve a goal, and that they made friends who understand what it is to be in their shoes. And I think that's what I just like to share with families, because, you know, we think about walking being so important and all these things, they are important. But really, when you see kids who have made all these successes in life and they go back to it, and that's really what they needed the most out of anything, and they get that at Conductive Learning Center. So it's just what I would like to share out as a little piece that you can't kind of get through the website, but hopefully here we can.
Oh, wow. I love that. So good. Angela.
Yeah, I would just say, you know, Andrea and I can say as many positive things. We could go on for days because it's, you know, fun to be here. It's fun to help. You know, it's fun to see the children every day, and it's just a happy place to be. But really the biggest impact that we can show you that's not our opinion is in all the family stories. And, you know, if you visit our website or go to any of our social media, they're just draped in stories, and the kids are just amazing. The families are amazing. And I think they give us the best boost. And so just go check out their stories and take a tissue or so.
Oh, wow. Well said. So well said. Well, everyone out there, so please make sure to go visit the website. It's conductivelearningcenter.org. And then also on social, I didn't show this earlier, but on social, it is both on Instagram and Facebook. It's at Conductive Learning Center. So, boy, you guys, thank you so much for everything you do. I know I when you're talking about the stories and you're talking about the reactions and the smiles, that same sort of drives us as a business and gets us up out of the morning and even on the hard days to go out there and try to do our best to add value. And one of the things we say on this side is we want to be a brand of success, but more importantly, we want to be a brand of significance. And we do that by making a measurable difference in the world, or doing our best to make a measurable difference in the world. And everything that you said and all the interactions you've had for 25 years, I mean, that's just remarkable. You are making that measurable difference. And I know it's a team effort. But when we come together as a community, there really isn't anything we can't accomplish. So,
Yes, thank you.
keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
We love those Billy shoes.
Well, everyone out there, this was another episode of Open Book. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll have another one again real soon. So until then, take care.